One of your favorites, Hazel McCallion, mayor of Mississauga, is 100 years old today.
100.
So let me, just before we go quick, the people who don't know who Hazel McCallion is, she's been a mayor forever. She was a mayor forever.
36 years.
36 years in Mississauga. And I think you could probably say she may be the greatest mayor of all time.
Well, she is. I say she's the greatest mayor of all time. And the first time I've heard of her was back when I was coaching the Boston Bruins back in the 70s. And what was it, Tim? You know all about that.
There was a big train derailment, and there was a lot of chemicals kind of got into the air, and they had to evacuate. I think it was almost 250,000 people, and it was the largest non-wartime evacuation of population. And I remember we were in Saugus watching it, and Saugus, Massachusetts, and there she was on talking about it, and I go, Mississauga.
And she had a hat. She had a hat on.
She had a hat on, yeah. And but she's a firecracker, that's for
sure.
She,
I have to tell you, the very first time, I don't know, I'm going to tell you anything. Very first time, I get a call from her, and I remember it. I know she was about 5'1", and she sounded like she was about 6'2". She says, "This is Mayor Hazel McCallion." Oh, and I just come from Colorado. Mayor from. She says, "I'd like you to be up at." This was on a Saturday. "I'd like you to go up to Meadowville Arena, and I want you to see." I says, "I don't do day of the game. I don't go any. You're going up there, and you're going." And I better go. And she's actually sounded like Eddie Shore. So I go up to the Meadowvale, and here was these little girls and girls hockey back then. Nobody paid any attention to girls hockey. I mean, it was like a joke. And I could see, and it was a team from Sweden, little girls from Sweden, and I could see they loved hockey as much as we loved hockey. And from then on, I was the advocate of women's hockey. In fact, Cindy, I think you remember I went down to Kitchener.
Yeah.
And they honored Rose.
For the team that was going to the women's hockey that was going to the Olympics that year.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually put a rose on their sweater.
Yeah, I still have those roses. And I sat with Sittler's wife, beautiful wife, Wendy.
Yeah.
And I think her daughter was playing that day. And Dell went out. Dell, you went out on the ice. And anyhow, it was Hazel. She says, "You get up there, and better get up there."
I just want to tell a quick funny story with Hazel. Well, two ones quick. We'll do it quick. She wanted to go out, and because she played hockey way back in the day, like way back. She was a role, but she played hockey, and she could skate, and she wanted to go out before Mississauga Steelhead game.
She always did.
So she got her skates on, and we won't say who the coach was, but the coach says, she had to be in her 90s then. And she said, and he was like, "Gee, what if she falls and breaks a leg or something?" He goes, "I don't think you should go out." And she tore a strip off of him. You could not believe. It was, "Who are you
in my building
to tell me that I cannot go on? Who do you think you are?" And just proceeded to tear this guy to shreds.
She's a corker.
And she went out and skated, and she rode around the ice the whole time.
In the warm-up. And another time, I remember the PR guy never had a wire. He used to have a wire, but had to go to center ice to talk.
Didn't have a microphone.
You might have the microphone, and she had to take the one beside. She'd give it to that guy. "I'd fire you. You couldn't run."
No, she doesn't suffer fools.
No, she doesn't suffer fools. You were talking. She come over the last time we went over to see.
Yeah, we were at, I think I told us before, we went to go see Sudbury play Mississauga, and we wanted to see Quentin Byfield, and because we hadn't seen him in a while. And she came, and she sat in the box, she came into the box where we were, and she stood for half the game. Like, we kept saying,
I kept saying to her, "You want a chair?"
Nope. And she knew all the players. She knew about Quentin Byfield. She asked about the Levine. She says she knew about Haley for the Mississauga. And just sharp as a tack. So she would have been 98 then.
Oh, yeah, 90.
And she stood for the whole, my back started to get sore. I had to sit down.
She's a corker anyhow.
You and her became very good friends, didn't you?
Well, she was the one politician and I'll say it around, the one politician after I got let go. So we stayed let go.
Poppy
Is that
Gate.
how we're? Is that how we're terming it? Let go.
Let go. No, after I got fired by Hockey Night in Canada, she's the one politician who said, I'm his friend and I'll always be his friend. And I was kind of got tears in my eyes because everybody,
We're jumping ship.
well, everybody was just, yeah, I just, I don't want to get into it, but she was the one guy, she stuck by me. And, I was really surprised because she was mixed up in politics and the whole deal, by God.
She was a politician, but she didn't sort of act like a politician.
Joe Warmington is going to have in his paper tomorrow. This is Sunday. We're doing Sunday and Monday. I have to tell you the one story that I always remembered about. She's tough. I mean, we just said she's a firecracker, and there was she was hit by a truck.
Oh, right.
In spring. Remember, she's
pickup truck.
A big pickup truck hit her and said, "Don't worry, the truck's okay."
It's true. And the guy gets out of the truck and he looks down, and there he hit the mayor of Mississauga, a 95-year-old woman.
Yeah, and she gets up and he said, and in the write up, it was the truck's okay. Anyhow, Joe Warmington is having that in his paper.
So we want to wish Hazel, Mayor McCallion, and I think, Cindy, if she ran for mayor, she'd win.
She went today.
And I would like to see the way she would have been in today's situation with the pandemic.
Boy.
I don't think she'd be towing the line like
No,
other people are.